What's up, everybody? I'm Jason Mayfield, and in this video, I'm going to review the Heirloom Thinline from Crossway. First things first, I do want to say thank you to Crossway Books for sending me this Bible to review. I want to let you know that they did send it to me, and I got it for free. Now, that being said, I want to just kind of tell you how this happened. I've been reviewing a lot of Bibles on my channel. I have had a major increase in viewership because of it. And so a lot of people are coming to my channel because of the Bible stuff. That being said, I talk a lot about the ESV. I have a lot of Crossway books. I have a lot of Crossway Bibles. And so I reached out to them and asked them if they had any kind of program because I was going to buy this Bible anyway. As a matter of fact, I was about to click purchase. It was in a cart on evangelicalbible.com. And I thought, let me just reach out and see. And they were gracious enough to send this to me. And so I just want to say thanks to them and let you know that this review is totally biased. I have no thoughts or opinions that are my own. I've been completely bought off by the Bible publishing industry. I'm just kidding, but someone did ask in a comment when I had put this on Instagram that they had sent it over, can you give an honest review if they sent you a free Bible? And I just want you to note something real quick. I have 3 other Thinline Bibles from ESV or from Crossway that are ESV. One of them is my wife's. This was a $10 Bible. This was my first one. This was a $20 Bible. And this one was my third one, or actually this was my first one and this was my second one, that is a Cordovan calfskin leather. This is like a $75 to $125, somewhere in there. They don't make it anymore. And so this is not like I'm not into the Thinline. So, I mean, I'm going to give you about as honest review as I can, but you came into this video probably already knowing that I really like this Bible. I've been using this Bible for a few weeks now, but when I got it, I decided that I would do an unboxing video of it. So, here that is from a few weeks ago. All right, here's the box. These are really pretty boxes. Which I know we're not getting boxes, but I think these are just really nice looking. So here we go. We're gonna open it up. Oh, exciting moment here. All right, so it's nice and wrapped up. The little ESV, our pledge card. Isn't that just sweet? Just sweet as pie. Man, this thing already looks nice. Wow, I'm shocked at how much thinner it is than a normal Thinline without even opening it up. Man, I don't even want to break the paper. It looks so good. That didn't go as well as I had initially planned for it to go. And then I can just slide it out. Is that right? Oh yeah. In hindsight, I probably could have slid that over and then slid it out. But you know, that's why they call it hindsight. Wow. This thing is nice. So that was then and this is now. And now I've spent several weeks with it, so let's talk about it. Let's start with the things I love. Number 1, the form factor. I love the form factor of the Thinline ESV from Crossway. Now, that is not exclusive to this Heirloom Thinline. I like this one, I like this one, I like this one, and I like all the other ones that they have. I love the Thinline. It's the perfect size because it's just, I don't even know what the measurements are on it. Like, isn't that terrible? Like, I have no technical details for you whatsoever. So this review, totally non-technical. I just like it. But I love the size. I'm guessing it's about 6 by 9, 5 by 8, somewhere in there. But I really enjoy this Bible because of the form factor. It holds in the hand so well. The text is big enough that you can read from a distance. You could very easily preach with this Bible. But it's just so simple. This fits in your bag well. It travels well. It's super thin, hence the name Thinline. The form factor of this Bible is a big win for me, and that's what initially got me in. What initially got me in on the Thinline was this super cool cover And the fact that it was this size. My NASB that I had before this, same thing. I wanted a Bible that was this kind of form factor. This thin, smaller Bible that is big enough to read from a distance, but also travels well, is smaller, but not a compact Bible. Y'all know my feelings on the Pitt Minion. It's just too small for me. So this form factor is perfect. In my opinion, this is the perfect size Bible. Period. This Bible is perfect in terms of form factor. With this particular Bible, I really love this goat skin cover. Now, I have, and you guys know and have seen it, I have a green single column Heirloom Legacy that is very similar in build. Really just, but this leather just feels so good, especially compared to the Cordovan calfskin that I had, which is a little more rigid. And some of the build on this just isn't as detailed. Obviously, this is a beautiful Bible. It's an excellent Bible. I love this Bible. It's very special to me. But the quality of this Bible is next level. And those of you that go back to when I got that single column Legacy Heirloom, the quality of this Heirloom series is just so amazing. So I love this goat skin cover. I love how floppy this is. This inner gold ridge that they have in here. Let me see if I can get out of the shot. Yeah, that right there, oh my gosh, I just love it. I even like how there's this very little dip, like the spine's just a little bit thicker and then it goes in right there. The cover is amazing. When you hold this Bible, you feel like you're holding something special, which you are, even if you were holding this $10 one that is fake leather. You feel like you are holding something special, but when you hold this one, you feel like you're holding something special. Really love the goat skin cover. The ridges, oh, I love the ridges. The ridges are why I started getting into nice Bibles. I think they look so cool. I don't even know if you call them ridges. The hubs on the spine, I think is what they call them. I don't know, but I love those things. And so this Bible had them as well. So this one has 6, this one has 4. There is something about having less ridges here that just really makes this thing look super classy. I don't know why, but I really love the less amount of ridges or having less ridges on here, raised hubs. I really like that. I also, with that, because they did 4, they did something else that I like, and that is that they removed the ESV. So it says Holy Bible, has the ESV logo, English Standard Version, and Crossway. I always feel like this, and they do this on a lot of Bibles, I always feel like this is just a little too much. This is what we call overbranding. Y'all are driving a point home a little too hard. So I could really even just deal with this ESV on there, would be fine for me. But I really like that there's less on the cover or on the spine. To me, it looks a lot nicer. The other thing about this Bible, this art gilding. Oh my gosh. I feel the same way about the single column Legacy. There's something about the art gilding on here. It is just so beautiful. Now, granted, I don't have years of wear and tear on this, but compared to my Cambridge Pitt Minion and my Cambridge Wide Margin, which has gone through a significant amount of abuse over the years, but compared to both of those, something about this art gilding I think is a little deeper red, and it's just so pretty. And I just really, really like that. And it's amazing how much that red in the gild, that behind the gold, but the red, it's amazing how much that like becomes part of the experience. And some of this stuff, I don't even know how to explain other than when you interact with it, it's an experience. And I know some people are gonna come on here and go, well, I just don't know how you can spend that kind of money on Bible. How you spend $150, $200 on the Bible. I just don't know how you spend that money on the Bible. Well, you spent $300 on the TV and I don't see anybody complaining about that. Okay, so let's talk about what I don't like about this Bible, okay? First thing I don't like is that these ribbons are the same color, okay? I think in the Wide Margin Heirloom, it's like this. And I know in my single column Legacy, it's like this. The single column Legacy has 3 ribbons. They're all a slightly different shade of gold or beige. And it just adds some kind of little character to the Bible that is really, really cool. I even did that in my Cambridge. I ripped the ribbons out and put ribbons back in there. Why haven't I done that to this one? Because this is so new. My Cambridge, I'm familiar with it, and messing it up a little bit, it's not a big deal to me because The thing's battle worn, okay? But this one, I don't want to do that because it's brand new, and I want to keep it as a reader and keep it nice. I just wish these ribbons were maybe something more special with it. Maybe just 2 different shades of brown or something. I know that is such a weird complaint to have, but when you see it on the Heirloom or the single column Heirloom, it's such a different experience. Now, granted, my single column Heirloom is a special edition from Evangelical Bible. Maybe the ones that Crossway makes across the board aren't like that, but if y'all don't, I mean, it's just an extra ribbon color. It's not that. Come on, guys. We can take this thing to a whole nother level. Here's another thing I don't like, but this is, I understand why, and I'm kind of glad that it isn't, but at the same time, I wish that it was, and that is that this particular Heirloom is not line matched. I believe the rest of them are. I know the single column Legacy is. That was a big deal with that Bible, is that it's line matched. The wide margin, I believe, is line matched. The Omega Thinline, I believe, is line matched, which is basically a large print version of this, and it'd be bigger. But this one isn't. So here's both sides of that coin. One side is that it's not line matched, just like the rest of these. So the rest of them are not line matched either, and it follows the same format as this, which makes this a great upgrade because you can go from using a $20 Bible, get into this Bible, and basically have that same experience that you've been having, which I think is really important with a Bible like this, because this is a Bible that you just use all the time, man. This is an all-the-time Bible. So if you've been using a $30 ESV Thinline and you're going, I want to get a premium Bible, well, you could hop into this thing and it works exactly like the one that you've been using. The flip side of that is, I've used the line match Bibles and they're really, really super cool. Now, does it affect me when I'm reading? No, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't. Once you're in there and you're focused on the words, it doesn't play in at all. Is the ghosting a lot worse in this than it is in the other ones? Not really. It's not really that significant. So is it a little more? Yeah, but it's not as bad. The paper is thinner than the other thin lines that you've probably used, but the ghosting is fine. But if it was line matched, it would just make that experience so much more like, what's a good word? Pashow! I think that's probably the best word I have for it. Okay, and the last thing that I don't really like about this Bible, which may not be fair, but I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it, and those of you that thought that I wasn't going to give a real opinion on this Bible because they sent me one, you're about to find out that Jason Mayfield don't play. Jason Mayfield don't play. It is obvious to me, it is apparent to me that Crossway cares a little less about their Thinline Bible than the rest of their Bibles. And it irritates me a little bit because the Thinline, I think, is a cornerstone Bible for Crossway. At least that would be my opinion. At least in my personal life, that's how I feel. I feel like this is the Crossway Bible. This is the Bible that's in the most people's hands, I would imagine. Now, I could be wrong. And I just feel like this is the Bible people go to, the Thinline from Crossway, in terms of ESV readers. And I feel like it doesn't get the love that some of the other Bibles that they make get. This Bible needs the same amount of attention that the other Bibles y'all are making gets, period. And I say that because, and again, this may not be fair, but both of these Bibles that I got, when I got this one and when I got this one, there are threads in the binding that are not, like this one has, I don't even know if I could show it to you. It's so small, but both of these have had threads that are kind of hanging loose, not connected, not tied in, it doesn't seem finished. This one was the same thing. I had to put super glue down here in the bottom years ago to get that one to sit down. And I'm going to do that to this one probably as well. I just didn't want to do it before the review. And it's little things like that. And I know some of y'all are going, well, hey, Jason, it's just a thread. But I went over to the single column Legacy that I have. I don't see it anywhere. It is immaculate. And it wasn't only the binding, but also the art guild on this is a little bit messier. As I flip through the pages, I can see where that red has kind of dripped down into the page in some spots. It's nothing dramatic. It's not like I'm down here in Revelation 21 and there's red that's dripped all the way down. But it is, however, just a little bit messier. And again, I compared it to my single column Legacy. And there is just that very slight, again, this Bible is immaculate, but that's 100% and this is 99%. And that's really how it feels. So you guys love this Bible a little bit more and give the Thinline its day in court. The other thing I'm gonna toss in there real quick, this isn't a don't like, but this is something that I just really wish that they would do. They should really take this Bible and turn it into a wide margin, because everybody uses this, and this could become the pit minion to the wide margin that they could make in this. And so just throw some margins on this bad boy and let's have some church, okay? So compared to the other Thinlines that I've used from Crossway, including the Cordovan calfskin, which I love, and is a premium Bible, the Heirloom Thinline is a significant upgrade in quality. This is an experience using this Bible. This isn't just having a Bible. This is having a Bible. But for real, it's hard to even put the other Thinlines in the same league, other than the fact that the text and the layout are the same. There are, however, two things that I've noticed as a difference. Number one is that it is slightly thinner than the other Thinlines. So there's this ever so slight difference in thickness. And I think that's just the paper, because the paper's thinner. The reason that matters is when you get this Bible at first, what may be in your muscle memory for a turn might not take you where you think it's going to take you. So you may go to Romans and end up in Matthew because you're used to that muscle memory of where it's at. Once you get used to it, it's okay. After a couple of weeks, I'm kind of more familiar and have that natural turn down a little bit more. The other thing that I noticed about this in terms of differences between it and the other Thinlines is that it looks like, and again, this could totally be my brain playing tricks on me, but it looks like they took that entire print block from the inside of the Thinline and just shrunk it ever so slightly on the page. So the text is just ever so slightly smaller, and the references and book and page number and all that moved in a little bit, so the margin is ever so slightly wider. Now that's not going to functionally help you with anything, but it does make it look a little nicer, and it doesn't look like everything's just, you know, spread out as far as it can to the page. And if you use wide margins or like the single column Heirloom, one thing that you've probably noticed, whether you write in them or not, there is something about having that extra space on the page, that white space, that just makes looking at the page a little bit more of an enjoyable experience. And so with the Heirloom Thinline, it seems like they've done that. Like they've just taken that text, that print on the page, and just shrunk it down just a scotch to where it fits on the page a little nicer and a little better. Now, one of the questions that I am kind of anticipating you having, so I'll address it now, is how does the Heirloom Thinline compare to the single column Legacy? So let me talk about that for a second. Most of you know that I'm getting this Bible because I've been using this as my daily reader, because I study in the morning and write in my Bible, then I read in the evening and just read. And I've been using this as the reader, okay? Two separate Bibles. I love this Bible because it's green, and I am the Green Ranger. That matters. But this is green. It's just a beautiful Bible overall. It's a little big for me. It's a little thick. It's a little tall. It's just got a lot of size issues. This one, on the other hand, is the perfect size for everything. It's perfect for holding. It's perfect for reading. So in terms of size, this one wins for me. I really like this one. So let me just, hopefully you can see the difference here. They are flush with each other. It's a little bit wider, a little bit taller. Now, this does not look like a significant size difference, but I'm telling you that it is. I wouldn't think so either. If I looked at the Bible spec sheet and I saw there was an inch difference, I would think, what's an inch? Well, it turns out it's quite significant. Now, none of that is to say that I particularly like this one more than this one, but the experience is very different. And so what I'm finding is I'm using these both and I'm alternating between them, in part to try to really wrestle with which one I want to make more of a permanent part of my world. There's a very good chance that I make both of them a permanent part of my world because, you know, I can do whatever I want. So there's that side of it. But I would like to have one that is my go-to. Most likely, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm traveling, I'm going to use this one. This one will probably get abused more than this one will. But there is something about, especially on my desk, if I'm reading at my desk, I really like the experience in the single column legacy. There is something about just looking at this page. I mean, it's just, wow, it is just a beautiful thing to look at. Let me go to something that's more wall to wall. There we go. I mean, that is just a beautiful page layout. And also having single column versus double column. So I got into the single column thinking that it was going to be the most amazing thing that ever happened. To be honest with you, I kind of like having a double column because what happens is that rate at which I'm reading and kind of accomplishing is a little quicker. So this one actually feels a little easier to read quickly because one, I'm just plop, 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 you know, and you're getting stuff done. But also, I don't have to move my eyes back and forth as much. I can just kind of phone, and I'm done. I'm reading. I'm getting through it quicker. So there are really aspects, both of these, that I love. And I know some of you are going, well, you shouldn't read it fast. It's the scripture. It's the word of God. Yeah, but I'm also studying in the day. So I've got the study time, and then I've got the reading time. And you just, you know, be okay with it. So when it's all said and done, I am super pleased with the ESV Thinline, Heirloom, Heirloom Thinline, Heirloom Thinline, Airline Thinloom. I really like this Bible, and I would really highly recommend it. If you're looking to upgrade your Bible experience, but you don't want to spend massive amounts of money, I think this is a great Bible. It's a little more affordable than the other heirlooms, but also it's a little bit more of a normal experience that we're used to in these ESV Bibles, especially if you're a Thinline user. Listen, if you use a Thinline, you definitely want to get one of these. It is super, super great. Now, one thing that I haven't been able to speak to on either one of these Bibles, the Heirloom series that I have, is how they respond to you writing in them. Because I'm not going to write in them. I'm using them specifically as a reader. There is part of me that is thinking about using the single column Heirloom as my new wide margin. But other than that, speaking specifically as a reader to the quality, this is great. And I really, really like it, and I would highly recommend it. So listen, if you want to grab this Bible, you can do so by clicking down below. I have a link down there that says Bible stuff that I use. You can click that link. It'll show you all kinds of Bible stuff that I am using, like my pen case, my pens that I use, all that stuff. But this Bible will be in there. The single column legacy is in there as well. And so you can go check those out and grab one for yourself. So in the eternal words of Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. Until next time, I'm Jason Mayfoot, and I'm praying that you continue to experience grace for life through Jesus Christ.